Within3 is the industry standard virtual engagement platform for pharmaceutical and medical device teams. Meaningful engagement, more effective discussions, faster decisions. Within3.
Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome again to our next episode of Next Talks. And a pleasure to welcome today Nikos Georgiades from Novartis. He's the Senior Vice President of Commercial Excellence, as said, from a brilliant company, very innovative company, which is once again Novartis. Hi, Nikos. How are you?
Very well, thank you. Thanks for inviting me, Dario.
Thank you, Nikos. So let's start with our interesting leadership questions. We learned you're a very interesting persona indeed. So our first question to you is, when did you realize that you are gifted for management instead of doing just science-related job roles?
Well, gifted, I'm not so sure about that, but yes, it's true that I did switch from science to business. And that was when I was finishing my PhD. I realized that I wanted to do something more and learn new things. And I ended up at McKinsey, where I spent the next 5 years learning quite a lot about business and strategy. And then joined pharmaceuticals, an industry that I love and I have a passion for, because not only it's a very interesting industry itself, but it's science-based and it helps people. And that's what excites and motivates me.
Thank you. Next question. You lived in some of the most developed countries, including Switzerland, US, UK. Has your leadership style adjusted in such new environments?
Yeah, that's an interesting question. In terms of the country I live in, I don't think necessarily changes my leadership style. What affects my leadership style is the situation in which I lead. So it's much more important to take into account the team and the people and the situation that you're in rather than the country you live in. Certainly, my global experience and the adaptation to different cultures and styles, that has to be taken into consideration as well. But it's more the situation rather than the country that I live in that affects my leadership style.
Very good answer. So what is then your leadership style? Can you maybe explain that?
Very good. Yeah, well, it has evolved certainly over the years, but what I would say the characteristics of it, it relies to empowerment and trust to the people and the teams I have, and also allowing people to be the best they can be themselves. With that said, as a scientist, I appreciate a lot the fact-based accuracy of information, transparency, and no surprises in what we're working on. And there will be successes and there will be issues, and we can deal with them as long as there's respect for the teams and the goal and the ultimate goal that we are aiming to achieve.
Thank you, Nikos. My next question is my favorite one, if I can say so. And this is, did your children influence your leadership style in any way?
My children test my leadership style every day.
Tell me about that.
Absolutely. I think, look, for all of us who do have children, I think we realize that it's a leadership challenge at home as much as it is at work. So recognizing the different, perhaps, starting point and thought process that individuals have, it's certainly a learning that children make even more transparent to you as they grow up.
Thank you. As someone who is working in top management for many, many years, what do you see as the next big management challenge during COVID, but also after COVID?
Yeah, I think management is changing in many respects. And if you look at the 2000s and before, the emphasis on just the profitability of companies and shareholders was certainly the pinnacle of management. But as we are now in 2020 and beyond, I think the things we're trying to optimize go beyond just the shareholders. Our social responsibility is certainly a key component of how we think about our role as leaders and managers of companies at Novartis and others. But in addition to that, the individual teams we work with, they expect, and we can probably learn the most by adapting new ways of leading. Agile leaderships, where no individual and certainly no manager or leader has all the answers, but the experts deep in the trenches usually are the ones who know best. And how do you empower and lead in an agile way where you can be obsessed about customer centricity and what you're trying to provide value of, as well as how do you allow your teams to achieve those goals. So I think in 2020 and beyond, the leadership, the more agile leadership is going to be a key way of thinking. And all of us who have grown for the last few decades in different management styles, I think it's our responsibility to embrace this and to empower the younger generations, and certainly our co-workers to excel in what they do best.
Thank you. Nice answer. And let's move forward to our quick fire questions, my favorite part always, where we ask very short questions and appreciate a short answer. And the first question is, best tourist attraction you ever visited?
Oh, gosh, that you want quick answers. The pyramids.
Make a promotion for Cyprus, so.
Pyramids in Egypt. That was
Okay.
spectacular.
Okay, great. Best meal you ever cooked?
Best meal I've ever cooked. Raclette. It's a Swiss dish, and we were up in the mountains with the kids skiing, and it was not so much the meal itself, but it was the company and just being in the presence of family.
Nice one. During growing up, who was your hero?
Carl Sagan, famous astronomer from Cornell who popularized science and got me interested into science at the time.
Best place to live?
Ooh, best place to live. Anywhere in Europe in the Mediterranean coast. That's what I would say. I love the sea. I love the Mediterranean. So I'm sure there's many nice places over there.
My stress therapy is?
Doing something for myself, and that could be a sport, reading, just relaxing by myself. I'm more of an introvert person, so I get my energy and re-energize and calm when I have the time to reflect and calm down by myself.
And proudest moment in your life?
Hmm. Perhaps the birth of my children. Each of one of those four moments was spectacular and made me very proud on its own.
Nikos, thank you so much. It was very interesting interview indeed. Short questions and answers, and definitely I think people will learn a lot from this inspirational talk today. Thank you very
Well,
much, and take very good care. Hopefully to see you in Dubrovnik, maybe even this year.
absolutely. Thank you very much and good luck with everything.
Thank you. Cheers. Bye.
Bye.
3 is the industry standard virtual engagement platform for pharmaceutical and medical device teams. Meaningful engagement, more effective discussions, faster decisions within 3.